Hello again, viewers, and greetings, fellow space travelers. This is Thorn of Night, and welcome to episode 51 of my bee breeding guide. In this episode, we are going to be covering some bees off of the magic land of the Veiled Branch. It's a little bit in here. We have to go past the arcane and into the aware area, and then over here too. Ta-da! The Extrinsic Branch. Now this branch adds 5 bees to the mix. One of them is the hive bee. That was the first one there, which is called the Oblivion bee. And then there are the Nameless, Abandoned, Forlorn, and Draconic bees. And yes, these names sound so perfectly well matched with this giant rainbow in the sky. Anyway, the Oblivion bee is found in the end, and all the rest of these bees, including the Oblivion bee, do like the end conditions. However, they are added by the Magic Bees mod, and they don't necessarily need to be in the end, except for the case of the Draconic bee, which has to be bred in the end. Everything else can be in a plains biome, as far as I've been able to discern anyway. They do have some tolerances. The end is a cold biome, but they can deal with normal, so that's alright there. They are nocturnal, so they can work at night. They can work in caves, but they do not work in the rain. So if you've got a hive set up in the end, you can't sleep off the night and wait for it to become morning, because beds explode there. So you have to wait out the rainstorm, and it has been my experience that when it is presumably raining, although there isn't actually rain, but when it is precipitating in the end, it lasts for a very long time. So be patient with this line. Anyway, they do live a very long time. And they need the dragon egg in order to have that as their flower. You will either have to harvest one, or if you have gotten the Draconic bee bred and fully running, you can get some dragon eggs that way. But until then, you are going to need to park yourself around that dragon egg, or grab it and move it to your hives. But either way, you will need one of those. Now, the Oblivion and Nameless bees have an effect called the aggressive or aggression, whatever the rest of that word is supposed to be. And what this does is it harms all nearby entities, whether they are friendly or foe, or you. Everything takes damage. Next up, the Abandoned and Forlorn bees have the effect called repulsion, which tends to push other mobs away from the player. So, it isn't a perfect effect, and it doesn't last the entire time, so there's a time limit on the effect once it happens. But while it's active, mobs will tend to be pushed away from you. Not far, but they will be pushed away. And lastly, the Draconic bee has the effect which is called ends, and it damages only the player. And like I said, that can only be bred in the end. But let's take a look at the output that you can expect to get from these guys. They give off this stuff called Forgotten Comb, and when you run it through Centrifuge, you will get some honey drops there. But you will also get these things called Amnesic Wax, which can be used for making some magic capsules, as well as these Essence of Everlasting Durability, which are used for a few things, including some specialized frames to put in the apiaries and alvearies. And you will also get Pulsating Propolis, which is used to make pulsating mesh, and 5 of those you can make ender pearls. So you can get an ender pearl factory going once you get this line up and running. But let's go take a look at the bees themselves. And I have this set up so that you can travel, I guess, telecommute, whatever, between the different branches and that main hub and everywhere else. So if you wish to tinker with this map and practice with the bees and get a feel for them, I will be making the download available through a link in the description below. Now, I am using the Feed the Beast Unleashed mod pack for doing this, so you will need to grab the Feed the Beast mod pack in order to take care of that. But once you have that, you can download this and explore all the things that I've done in here. But let's go ahead and take a look at these bees. First off, the Nameless bee, which is a level 9. And really quickly what that means is, if you can see here, I have the Oblivion bee, which is a hive bee, labeled as 1. And what I'm doing here is all the hive bees and the bees that you can only get naturally or by trading with villagers are labeled as level 1. And anything beyond that is higher level. So things that require level 1s to just level 1s to make are level 2s. Things that require level 2s are level 3s, so on and so forth. So this level 8B creates a level 9B, and so that's why I have that set up, and it progresses that way. But you are going to need some Oblivion bees from the end, and they are limited, so keep that in mind. But also you will need some ethereal bees. These guys are from the Aware branch, and if you don't know how to make them, you can either go watch my Aware video, or if you have downloaded this map, you can hop through the book and take a look there. Now, I have left some stock levels for you to practice with, and I am, by the way, in a plains biome, so all of these were bred in the plains, and all of the output here is in the plains biome, so you can basically do everything in the plains if you are on top of everything. But let's look at what we can get from this Nameless bee here. I need... Where's the princess? That's a drone. That's a drone. Well, let's pull that out. Where'd the princess go? Did I leave it in here? No? Maybe it's in here. Is it hidden behind one of these? No. The princess just vanished. Well, let's see if we can figure this out. It looks like it took 1, 2, 3, probably at least 3 generations to make the drone here. That is really weird that I didn't get a princess out of that. Okay, well, I'll put these in here so I can get rid of some of the confusion. And let's take a look at some of the stats that I got on this drone here. Nameless. Alright. Put that in there, and I need to refill this. And looks like it came pretty close to becoming a purebred. That doesn't tell you how many generations it was, because the drones don't actually have generations, as you can see here. So I don't know why that princess wasn't in there, but I will leave these here for you to examine if you wish. I am sorry there's no princess to look at, but there is some of that comb there. That is so weird that I didn't get a princess. Oh well, moving on to what you can typically expect from purebred Nameless bees. Running them one cycle will give you 3 drones, as you can see there, and you can stand a chance at getting some of the, not the memory comb, the forgotten comb. And a stack of that will give you about 3/4 of a stack of the pulsating propolis, about half a stack of the amnesic wax, and 1/4 or less than that of a stack of the honey drops. Honey drops really aren't what you're going for, though, anyway. Next up, we have the Abandoned Bee, and it is a level 10. It requires, once again, some of those Oblivion bees, but this time it requires the Nameless bees that you got over there. And once again, there's some stock level for you. But this time, there is a princess, thankfully. And let's, what was it? Oh, Abandoned. Oblivion, Abandoned, there we go. Let's go ahead and grab this and figure out how old the bee is. 2 generations in, not bad. And not quite a purebred. That would definitely take some breeding to get those different traits out, but that's doable. I'll leave these here for you to look at and experiment with if you wish, but let's look at the output. Abandoned bees will give you 2 drones and a chance at some of this forgotten comb here. It looks like maybe 2 comb on average is the max for standard bee. And once again, there's some typical output from a stack of that forgotten comb. Next up, we have the Forlorn bee. It requires the abandoned and nameless that you've already bred here. And there's some stock levels. Oh, you even have some just in case bees there. There's the princess, and the princess is the Forlorn bee. Excellent. So this took 4 generations to make, and let's do some quick comparison there. Not too bad. No differences there, no differences in the comb. Alright, well, I'll leave these here for you to take a look at. Whoops. But let's look at the output here. First off, you are going to be expecting 1 drone out of a purebred. And some chances at that comb. Looks like you can get up to 5, and that is probably because they have the longest lifespan. But there again is a typical stack of the forgotten comb. Yeah, that's about right. Just, I guess it looks wrong because it's in the wrong order. And the last bee is the Draconic bee. I will take a look at the breeding mechanics for it in a moment, but first let's look at the Draconic purebreds and what you can expect to get out of them. First off, once again, there's just 1 drone, but as you can see here, there's this stuff called Draconic dust, and the Draconic dust is used in making the, let's see here, no, just the one Draconic dust. The Draconic dust is used in making, come on, Draconic chunks. Now, stick with me here. 6 of them make a Draconic chunk, and then, come on, 8 of them, along with one of these Essence of False Lives, make a dragon egg. So you can fabricate these once you get the Draconic bees going. It's just going to take a while. Let's see here. It's 6 times 8, so it's 48 of the Draconic dust. And as you can see, it's a very low chance of getting that even out of 5 of them. I probably had to run these a few times just to get the 1 dust. So 48 dust to make 1 of those eggs, as well as what was that? Essence of, what is this? False life. What's the recipe on that? Okay, so you need some glass, some rose, and some soulful wax. That's from an entirely different line of bees. The spirit and soul bees will get you that. So that's pretty high up there once you start getting these. Which makes sense. I mean, getting dragon eggs right off the bat would be kind of ridiculous anyway. But once again, there's some typical output for you. But let's go take a look at the Draconic bee breeding itself. Hopefully this won't crash. I am in, it says in the sky biome, which is the end. And I have just set up home here. And defeated the dragon and all that. There's the way back. Or if you want to, I have a book in here that'll take you back either way. But the Draconic bee will use the abandoned bee from the previous breeding situation and some imperial bees, which I suppose I should have left a link booked for you. I will toss one in here. I apologize for there not being one. But I will put one in here for you to look at, or you can just go take a look at my Noble video and get an idea for how to make an Imperial there. I didn't fill this all the way up, but I have some stock levels for you, as well as the output here. I got 1 Draconic drone, and there's the princess. Let's see how long this took me. Oh, wow. Just the 1 generation. Okay. I don't think it's supposed to technically be that quick, but I'm not going to complain. Alright, and let's see the differences here. Not too much, but it is noticeable. That would take a little bit of doing, and probably a lot of bees to get it to stabilize. But I will leave these in here for you, and I'll go put this in the output box over at the main hub. And I will need to get an Imperial or a Noble book put in here. Oh no, there it is, Noble Branch. Haha, I did remember it. Yay, there you go. Noble Branch. So, that's pretty much it for this. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope I covered everything involved with this. If you do have any questions or comments or suggestions, though, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I will do my best to respond. Also, if you like this video and you like what I'm doing here, please feel free to give me a like. I do appreciate that. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you know when my future stuff comes out. But this is where I'm going to have to go ahead and wrap up. So thank you once again for watching. This is Thorn of Night, and I will talk to you later.